Okay, so it was pointed out to me that my conditional pricing video did not show my spreadsheet um, for any of it. So that part was very probably confusing. So I'm going to do this video kind of one more time. I hope you guys get the gist of it because I already went through and set all my stuff up. So it'd be really hard for me to um, go back and change or delete something so you can see me set the whole process up again. So let's start this one more time and we'll see how we go. So the first thing I do is I go to settings and reports and I create a new report. Okay, I already have it set up, so I'm just going to click the one I have and I call it item prices. And you have to set the report type to rentals. And then I include the columns, the rental name, rentals category, and rentals start price. Okay, we sort it by the rental category. That's what I do. Makes it easier, it seems. But now you can only do the starting price. IO does not have a column that says, every hour after that or up to 27 days and then whatever. I bet the coding on that would be horrible. But anyway, they don't have that. Starting price is fine because that'll be like your base price anyway. So you're going to create that. And then you're going to go over to settings and inventory. And then once you're in here, you're going to click the report here and click your report that you created. So now you have all your inventory items, all your categories, and all your prices. And you'll click this button and export it. Okay. So now, once you export it, I use Google Docs. You may use Excel. But it'll show these first three columns. Obviously, I already went through all mine, so you see all this other stuff. And I went through and deleted anything that I was not going to do conditional prices on. So like this one here, I don't do conditional prices on that, but I skipped over it. So, and the wrecking ball, I don't really do conditional prices. I set a price per day and that's it. But anything you want to do a conditional price on, you may choose to leave some of that bigger stuff depending on what your conditions are. And then I also went through here and I grouped things. I use what's called the item pricing, but I group everything so that if I change the price of, say, my jumping jack castle, all four of these castles are the same price. So I do all of them where if I change the jumping jack castle, it changes the price on all four of them. That way I'm not having to open up 4 different items to change the price. It simplifies it a lot. So these colors represent the different item prices that are grouped together. See, like I have that many combos that are priced the same. So if I go in here and change the price of my unicorn, these other ones are ideally the same size. So they have the same price. Now, I know some of you price your combos differently for different things, but you still probably have some sort of grouping a reason that you have it. So you could probably group it. Same thing down here. All my yard games, I charge a certain amount. And then small slides, medium slides, large slides. That's what I kind of group mine at. And then toddler stuff. So that's how this makes it way easier than opening up every single item. If you want to change the price, you just change it in one and it changes all the others. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is I add several lines up here. And I do the conditions that I want. I make a column with the conditions that I want to meet. I do a column for the price, but this is the price like okay, I'll explain this here in a second. And then this is the criteria to meet this condition. Hey, bear. So the weekday is my base price. So I say that's one time. So whatever my base price is going to be this times one. I'm not going to change it. That's my base price, right? And then my residential weekend, I do for 30% more. So 1.3 is my residential weekend, and then special event is 1.15, which special event's the same thing as this here, commercial. Um, And then if you want to do a holiday price, you can say 1.5 or whatever. So I do a multiplier instead of a solid up like plus $50. You could do the plus 50 if you want. That's just how I do it. But this is what I do. So then I go to each column, my base price, and I'll say this is the rental price. I want the base price. So I say this just equals that. And then my residential weekend, I say it equals my base price times 1.3. So then do that, and I can drag it down, and it does that calculation for everything, all the columns. Same thing with the special event price. I say I want it times 1.15, and it gives me the price for all the items, and then a holiday price. Now your conditions may be zip codes. You may say these three zip codes are an additional $25. That way you can say it's free delivery. You can say these three zip codes are $50, and then you can say free delivery, because in IO currently they can collect the some customer information. You won't see it on my site too much because I have one part hidden for now. Um, but a lot of people, whenever you're on item page, I wonder why that looks weird. In your item deals, they can set the event date. So when they set the event date to whatever, this is my residential weekend. So if I set the event date to weekend, it would change my pricing to this. Now mine won't, because I have special conditions that don't apply. But if you're only doing by date and not by customer type, it'll work. The other thing is, a lot of you guys have this check delivery here. If they click and fill that in, it'll change the price here as well. So those are the only two options for changing and it displaying on the website currently. Tim's working on adding some more areas and how to do that. But for me, I go ahead and I just have something that I designed up and mocked up so that they just see all my pricing here. So now I have my spreadsheet. Okay, this is going to be really helpful. This criteria. So like my weekday is any rental Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. My residential weekend is any residential customer Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and commercial special event. We're going to change that too, so I'm not confused later. And then holiday price for a holiday price, but I'm going to keep it holiday price because mine's a little more complex. But I'm going to do the simple version for this this video. But mine's more complex because of this, the customer type having different prices. So this is really important in helping learn or know what your filter does. Okay, so now that we've created the spreadsheet, we can go back over to our IO, and we're going to create filters. Okay, now whenever we create a filter, you have to have a special naming. I like to have a special naming convention so I know what the filter is being used for. You may have something different each time. So the first thing you're going to do is you got to create a filter for each one of these price differences. Okay. So the first one I'm doing is residential weekend. Okay. So I'm going to come over to my IO. I'm going to create a filter, add filter. I've already done it. So I'm just going to show you what I created. I'm going to residential weekend. And then I name mine pricing because that's what the type it is. And unfortunately, the search still doesn't give you the search for the filter type. I bet they could add that in, but whatever. I don't really care. I may ask them and tell them that would be a good search thing, and it may end up in an update. Maybe it ends up in an update because of this video. But whatever. So I'd put what it's used for, the filter type, and then what I'm capturing, residential weekend. Okay. So now this is where we're going to do a little filter lesson, because one of the number one things that I get questioned asked is the issues people have is creating the filter incorrectly, and simply fixing that fixes everything else with the reports and everything. This is the best way that I've figured out how to do um, your filters. If you have a better way, that'd be great to hear. But so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do residential. It doesn't matter if I do the residential or if I do the weekend first, as long as I do both of them. So the first one, we do contact type, field name is customer type, contains residential. Okay. So now that's going to capture every customer that is residential. Um, the next line you're going to do is going to be down here. Normally it would be here. Let's do this. I'm going to create a new one just for this video, but the concept will apply for all of them. Okay. So the first one is going to be customer type, and then I'm going to put contains. Okay. So you see this add group button. Here's the best rule of using this add group button is if anytime you're changing field name and you have multiples of a certain field name in that filter, then you want to click add group. So like I'm doing residential, I only have that one, so it doesn't really matter, but I'm going to switch to what am I doing? Weekend. So I'm okay, so I'm switching lead start date, right? And I have multiples of the start date. So I'm going to date. I don't want start date. I want start day. Okay, so you see here, there's day of week, start is weekday, start is weekend. Okay. There's tons of new options here. You can go through, choose whatever you want. But I do weekend is Saturday and Sunday. Weekday is Monday through Friday. Okay. I usually just do this one because I like to see it broken down and what I'm actually grabbing. Because my weekend is technically Friday through Sunday, not just Saturday and Sunday. So I'll say start day of week contains Friday. Now see, I'm going to have 3 different ones, right? Rentals here. This is one group in the list, and this is a second group, right? Because they're 2 different types, field types. So that means I need to do add group. Okay, did you guys catch that? Because I hope that makes sense. See, I changed customer type. Now, if I'm only going to do one customer type, one day of week, and say one zip code or something like that, then you can leave them all. You don't have to do the add group. But if you're going to do multiples of the same field name, then you want to change add group and then start that in a separate group. The other thing is you probably almost always use and here, almost never use or, but there may be situations to use it. I can see that, but for pricing, you're probably not going to. The next thing is you want to make sure you switch this to or, because I don't think you'll ever have a lead that starts on Friday and Saturday. So I also always leave contains because I think contains and equals to are going to be the same thing in this situation. So there's no point in doing extra work. Okay, so now I've created my group. You see how that works? I got residential and my 3 days of the week. Whenever you're in your deal over here, I've got my residential and my 3 days of the week. That's how I do my 2 groups. If you're doing by zip code, you can say all 3 of these are one. See, they're all the same, so you don't have to create a new group inside your filter for that. I hope that helps with the filtering. I know, like I said, that's kind of the hard part that everyone has a hard time grasping, but that's the best way that I have found. Sorry, I got a little bit cold or something. If you want to keep doing ad group, I don't think it'll change if you do like 100 ad groups. I don't know, but I think that would be a lot more to scroll through and see. This is the easiest way. So, okay, so now you're going to go through and you're going to create these filters for each of your conditions here. Okay, so now I have my special event weekend, And so I did special event and commercial. See how I have it, because I had at one point I was running commercial, so I want to make sure that I just do that. It doesn't really matter because this is basically going to apply from here going forward. It doesn't really apply to anything going backwards. But if I choose to use this filter for something other than pricing, then I want to make sure I capture that one. But see how these two are the same field type, and I'd used or here because it can be either or, but I can't have one that does both. And then a new group, and see how these are all the same field name, right? That's how I do the grouping. I hope I'm driving that home enough and it makes sense. Now, holiday, that one's a little bit more complex, but we're going to go in here. I'll create a new one. It's not okay. So coding for holidays is really hard, but this is really simple, because what's going to happen is every year you're just going to, like, say you're doing Easter, July 4th, and Halloween are your 3 holidays every year. So once Halloween is over, I would just open this filter again and change the dates. But here's what we're doing. Okay, so we first go in here. We're going to say lead, start date, range. And now I want to go to, since Easter's already over, I'm just going to do July 4th and whatever. So I'm going to say anything that starts on Friday through Monday needs to be included in this filter. Okay, now I want to say or fixed range. And I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go to October. Whoops. October 31st. I'm going to say anything that happens on that and add. Okay. See, they're all the same field name. So I don't have to do add group. And if you want to throw in the other, just so you have it later in the deal, I would try to keep these dates in order, like Easter. I didn't do that, but Easter and July 4th and Halloween. That way, every time you go in to change this filter, it'll work. But there, now you have your holiday filter, right? Anytime anything lands in this, you can just say you have it. I'm not going to save and close it. I'm going to save and close it for now. Okay. So the next thing you do is the real daunting part, and this is why the item price thing is so important. If it will finish saving. Okay, so the next part we're going to go to do the item prices. Okay, I go in here and you have to create an item price for everything in here. And if you have it grouped, then you only have to do it one time for, say, 4 bounce houses versus 4 times, 1 for each bounce house. So I have my 10. Let's do bounce house. Okay. I just search for one because that's what everyone does. Castles. I used to do small castle and large castle, but I price them all the same, so there's no point in doing it that way now. Okay. I'm going to use this one. Since I don't use this live, I'm going to use this as my test one. This one I have small castle base, and I open it up and I say my small castle base is going to be $195 for every day. Actually, what I do now is I say, you can say every day, you can say until X number of hours, it doesn't matter, until one day, and then one day is $75 every day. Boom. Okay. Wonder why that works. 195. Huh. That should be. Something's not catching correctly in here. There it goes. Just didn't need it updating. Okay, so now I have 195 for one day. Once it hits 24 hours, it goes up to 270. Add $75 per day after that. So save and close. Now I'm going to go in and create a new price structure for my residential weekend. You may do it by zip code, like I said, and then you can add in. This is this is where you need to decide if you want to add to the base price, or if you want to just replace it. I would just replace everything. That seems the easiest. But if you want to uh, uh, add to, just put like $50 here or something until whatever. Then you need to make this match the same thing as the others. Otherwise, it'll be kind of. So just replacing seems easier to me. So I just do replacing. Boom. Or I just do the replace. Um, but I'd be interested to see someone who does ads. If you do add to, I'd be interested to see how it works exactly. I could probably play with it, but I don't want to. Okay, so we save and close that. Okay, so the next one is going to be, I'm going to just skip the special event weekend one because it's set up the same, but the holiday one. Okay, so now you can go in and do the holiday one and be the same type of thing. Choose the price you want to choose for holidays. You can say, if you want to say do it for 3 days because of how because like you want to deliver the day before and pick up the day after, whatever, however you want to do it. However you want to set this up, but you set the holiday up. Okay, so now the first time you do this, we're going to save and close. The first time you do this, you're going to go to inventory and you're going to have to go through every single item to add the conditional pricing. There's no way around doing that. But once you set it once, then all you do is change the filter or change the item price and it'll apply. You don't have to go to everything. So we're going to go in here in 12-foot slide because that's the first one. Pricing. You're going to click up here, say use new conditional pricing. You click that and then this pops up. Okay. So now you have your base price and you choose your base. That's why I named it base, because theirs starts with base. Whoops. And then you're going to choose your, you got override and add to base. So this is where I always override, but you could say if the zip code is this, this, and this, you can say, I want to add $50. And then you put your pricing thing. You can go in here and say, add $50, whatever. So that's pretty useful. The other thing you could do is, instead of going through all your item prices and doing it, is you could go ahead and go into your item. Skip the item price part. Just after you make the filter, come straight here and start doing it, and you should be able to make your item prices for it. So say we're going to do residential holiday pricing. I can come in here and start typing small dry slides residential holiday, and it says make new price. You say make new price, then you given the option here to say something, you say done, and boom, now you add it. You could do it that way as well. I did it the other way because I didn't want to have to go into I don't know. You probably should have done it this way. Now that I'm thinking about it, that's probably the best way to go. Skip the whole item price section and just come straight here after the filter and do it this way. And then whenever you close, you say you've done this. I'm not saving any changes because I already did all mine. I can go to my next one. This is the same pricing structure. You can go to your next one. You add each one, and whenever you do, you pick a filter. You can come here, and then the one you just created, the item before, will already be there. So that would make it way easier. Let's do it that way. That's the gist of it. And then the amazing part is, say next year you want to raise your prices. You just go in here and you go into your item prices, leave page. You go into your item prices and you just pick small, wet, dry. Small, wet, dry slide. I can come in here. Pick the item price I want to change and see it applies to both of those. So if I change it here and save and close, it'll apply to both of those. You also don't have to, in the item price, you could do that same thing in the item because they're already linked. So if you change the 12, it'll change the 14. I hope that video helps. I hope it's a little bit better than the last time and that you can see the spreadsheet, because the spreadsheet helped me out a ton when I was making mine and going through all of it. Let me know if I can help with anything else. I almost left the video as is, but I'm going to add this piece onto it. So to check it, you go into event leads, just create a new lead, I got a test lead here. So we got residential. I got a Friday, right? Today's Friday. Click it. Boom, it's Friday. So if I go in here and add a bounce house, pick one, shows my residential weekend rate. Okay, so if I go in here and I change the date, we'll go back and we'll just pick the Tuesday. Make sure the date changes to Tuesday. It says it's not available because it's going out, coincidentally. But now it's asking me to change the price to the weekday price. I say, yep, I'm done. Okay, if I go up here, now you're not going to see it on mine because I'm not changing the price for holiday yet, but I will probably. You can click the holiday price, make sure the holiday change takes place. Oh, I do have it. It's $253.20. Boom, change it. Oh, it's because it's residential. But that would be my weekend holiday rate because I'm not setting up on the holiday. But so that's the gist of how you do it. This is where I would check it to make sure. Like I said, I would show you the price changes on my website, but I don't do because I have the conditions of customer type. It will not take show on the website. So I can't do that, but it'd be great if someone made a video of it and showed the changes. That'd be awesome. And hope this helps you out.